This is Tuomas Saukkonen, you are watching Chaoszine.
Okay, so hello everyone. Chaoszine is today here at Hotel Holiday in Helsinki, Finland, and we have Tuomas Saukkonen as guest.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going better than last time we did the interview in the same spot. Things are getting better, yeah.
So how's the summer like overall been to you?
It's again a better. We had proper festivals. We got to play festivals outside Finland. We already released 2 singles for Wolfheart, so things are rolling on finally, and now there's stuff coming from other bands also. So it's been like it feels like a good old summer.
Yeah, and sort of, I guess, also like a relieving feeling that there's something happening and something on the horizon to wait for.
Especially that you have something to wait for.
Yeah.
The past 2 years was just question marks, always plans on the table, but like 90% certainty that nothing is going to happen. And now actually you see that things are moving forward. Who knows what happens during the winter or next summer, but at least now there's clear goals where to push on, So
we are now talking for 2 reasons. First reason is because Wolfheart is gonna drop an album on September 16th, King of the North, and then there's a Peek Before the Dawn bomb also coming out. But first let's get into the Wolfheart's album. So what kind of process overall it was to make the album in these different circumstances?
It was different. It was a lot less hectic than usually, because now there was no touring plans. The deadlines were completely different, and naturally there was a lot more time to actually make the album. It wasn't like just certain months between touring cycles, but we started the album, the final recordings last July. So it's been for my way of working, it's been insanely long, but in a good way. We did a lot more thorough pre-production. We rented a cabin in the middle of the woods where we recorded all the guitars and the bass, and we stayed there for 1 week. Nobody went back to home. Nobody went to work in the morning. Everybody was just there. Which it is not like we have done albums before.
So does this also feel like more of a band album?
Yes, definitely. Not just that everybody had a bigger role on the album, but we were physically in the same place, doing the thing actually together more. Not just everybody goes to studio on their own and does their own parts based on the pre-production, but it felt like a teamwork, and it was because we didn't have the tours or the festivals, we didn't get together. Bands, at least what I know, they don't hang out that much because the music brings them together anyway.
Yep.
When you take the gigs out of the equation, it might be 1 year that vocalist, there was the travel restrictions. We didn't see him for 8 months at all. But it was really good to be able to hang out because we are also really good friends, not just band members. So, and that added an additional layer emotionally to the album, because it was just not working to get the music out. It was just also getting together.
So obviously you get quite good feedback from Wolf of Karelia. So did you had some kind of vision where to go with this album, since it turned out once again quite heavy?
Yeah, it was clear vision already when the Wolves of Karelia was recorded where we're gonna go with the next one. I really wanted to go more in the direction of the debut album, Winterborn. Not that heavy and fast songs, and I wanted to have also a lot more variety with the vocals. I already knew the range of vocalists, and we have used Lauri's clean vocals on some acoustic versions already. But vocalist joined the band as a full member just weeks before we started recording the Wolves of Karelia.
Yeah, so basically he had zero input to the creative process.
Yeah, because he only did some backing vocals. I wanted to have him also on the album, on the previous album, as big role as possible, but since the album was already everything
pretty
was
much done.
Yeah, so the timing was a little bit bad for him to have a bigger role, but for this album I was able to write the album knowing that there's going to be 3 different vocals, which is going to naturally, hopefully, changed how the music sounds in a good direction. I don't know.
Yeah,
what do you think?
yeah, it changes quite a lot actually. So you were already making the songs in your mind that he will have like bigger role on this album. Yeah,
because I've written 20 albums mainly for my vocals.
Yeah,
it's a percussion. It's a growling vocals that doesn't carry any melody, so that of course affects the songwriting. Then I need to have a different approach with the melodies, with the guitar or the melodic side of the riffs, so that it carries the songs differently. But now when I have two vocalists that can produce melodies and do full choruses or verses, of course that gives me so much more building blocks when it comes to like composing a song.
So was it like more also exciting to make this album?
Yes.
Because you had like a lot more to sort of choose from, sort of.
Yes, definitely more exciting. It's always like I'm a huge fan of the factor that when I write a song, but I have a different vocalist or different people participating, because that always, in my ears, lift the song to another level. Like
if they really fit, so that they are not sort of like glued to it.
Yeah, of course that it has to be a good like match. But it works amazingly on Dawn of Solace with Mikko. Now it works amazingly with vocalist and Lauri. So they just upgrade the song. They just go further than my abilities and ideas could reach. So it's just for a songwriter that's a huge asset.
So for a vocalist, this is basically the first album with the band when it comes to like the creative process. So what was like his role? Did he participate also a lot in the guitar work on the album?
He did all the guitar solos.
Okay.
I wrote still all the music, but with the vocals we did work a lot together. And I always, when there's an other vocalist than me, I rather hear ideas from the others before just telling them where to sing and how and this is the rhythm, because otherwise they wouldn't bring anything of their own. I'd rather have their input.
I at least feel that it's good that everybody does their own part and gives their like own sort of musicality to it.
Yeah, because they bring more.
Yeah.
If it would be just me telling people what to do, it would be just the same ideas like circulating. And on the vocals he had a pretty big impact, and also our producer and guy who mixed the album, Saku, who is the first time like mixing engineer in Wolfheart, and he's behind Dawn of Solace albums also. That's why he got the job for this album. He had also quite a big role with the clean vocal arrangements and harmonies and stuff like that. But it was really a teamwork with the vocals.
So when you started with your band, did you have like all the lines in your hands, and have that sort of like softened during the years, that you give like more freedom to the musicians, or has that process always like remained the same, despite everybody takes your bands as like your bands?
I don't see my bands as my bands,
but everybody else does.
I think it's it focuses a little bit too much on me.
Yeah, they quite strongly identify to you always.
I do write all the music, I do write all the lyrics, I do a lot of the like hands-on work just to keep things rolling on, and
probably also give the print of the band sort of to the work.
Yeah, but but I'm depending on the guys to be in the band. To me, they are vital parts of the band. I don't see them as this is my band and these are guys who are part of my band.
Yeah,
I'm part of the band with the guys. But I just, because I started a lot of like things as a solo work in the beginning, it came naturally that I did the gig booking. I still drive the van.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I saw you at John Smith, and I was like, do you handle that as well?
Yeah, well, I can choose the music, and it's usually more peaceful in the front of the car. But it's like I do a lot of those kind of things also. So that side where I'm really hands-on also makes things a lot easier for the other guys. In a lot of occasions, they can just jump into the car or go to the plane and everything is sorted out. So it's not like I need to keep on controlling what is happening. It's just I do a lot of like the kind of like this managemental work. Just because things need to go forward and smooth for everybody. So
yeah, and I guess that's a very good way to do it, since you don't drink so you are always quite sharp.
Quite sharp, yeah.
Well, I guess the sharpest after the festival show.
Yeah. I'm the sharpest, yes, let's put it this way.
Yeah. So, another big thing that is happening to you after dropping the Wolfheart album is the Before the Dawn news that will be actually dropping next week, if I'm right.
Yeah.
And the biggest news is obviously the vocalist change. Paavo, who was in Voice of Finland and did very well in that competition, is gonna be the new vocalist for Before the Dawn. So, what actually happened there?
There's let me think. Was it 2 or 3 things? There's like simultaneously there was many things happening at the same time that drove into this situation. None of this was planned. The whole thing started when the pandemic started and the whole calendar went empty, and then Stay Heavy Records asked that would we be interested of really like if they released the vinyl version of the Deadlight album, and of course that sounded at that point like all the good things were better than usually.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing good happening, so that was really exciting. And none of the Before the Dawn albums were released as vinyl ever, so that felt like this is a really cool thing. Let's do this. And then we started talking with Juha and Lars, like why don't we just make one bonus song? We can do songs. We haven't been a band for almost 10 years, but we know how to make music.
Yeah, but the magic is there always.
Yeah, well, we didn't know it then, but we just started talking like let's give it a try. Like it might be fun. And it was insanely like nice experience after a long time. I really liked the outcome of the song. The vinyl went #1 in Finland in the physical charts. It got really good feedback. It's doing insanely well in Spotify and YouTube. So it like everything went so much better than we thought. And then look, we kind of like it was like a slow burning flame. Just thinking like, well, we could make more songs. Like who knows what happens, and maybe there's something on the horizon for the band actually after all. And then we had the gig in Oulu that was supposed to happen 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Because of what happened with all the festivals, it was postponed to this summer. So it kind of like kept the slow burn on. Like 1 year more we had to like keep the gig in mind, and there's gonna be like a big festival where we're gonna do a gig. So Before the Dawn like stayed in our minds quite a long time. And we did the gig, and it felt really good. It went well. It was in all the levels. It's not just like musically, but it was so much fun to play the songs and play with the guys. But at the same time, we knew that like this is not the lineup that would do the things like touring and more festivals or gigs like this. This wouldn't be able to do like a full comeback in that sense. And it kind of like stayed on the slow burn until Juho sent me a message that put the TV on. I was like, what the fuck? And there's Paavo singing that song.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, this sounds good.
Yeah, he did very well.
And the band did really well. The band, I think it was first time to hear double bass drums in the history of that. Yeah. And it went really well. But it sounded really good. It sounded really good. And then I was calling with Juho a few times about like this is so cool, and did you check that out? And the guitar player did that and that mistake there. Like analyzing the thing and just talking about how cool it was and how good the song actually sounded. We never heard anybody else perform the song naturally. It's and I started talking with Paavo through Instagram and just cheering him up in the competition and posting about his
I saw that you shared actually the
development overall, and hoping people would vote him because clearly the potential was huge. I knew that he gonna do well in the competition, and I wanted to help as much as possible. Then we started like there was a lot of comments like, why don't you do some cooperation with Tuomas, because people saw that I was like sharing his versions, not just Deadlight, but Death Song, but other ones also. And then we started talking like maybe we could do something together at some point. Who knows? It would be really fun. And I started writing a song. I was really like excited because of the Death Song thing. It came out from the blue, and usually those kind of things give the biggest motivation, like a boost.
Yep.
And I started writing a song for Paavo. And at the same time, I thought like, maybe I can just give it a go. Can I still write more Before the Dawn songs? because that really like clicked the whole motivation boost on. And I wrote 3 new Before the Dawn songs while I was working with the song for Paavo, and then we went to studio. I left those songs in my iTunes playlist, like maybe we used them later, who knows what happens. We went to studio, we did the song for Paavo, and when it was all ready and mixed, I was driving home from the studio, blasting the song super loud, and in the middle of the song I got the idea in my head like, this sounds like Before the Dawn, but better. You don't pull that out from your brain anymore.
Yeah.
Then I called Juho, then I called the sound engineer, then I called like people who were around Before the Dawn back in the days. Like, I got this idea. How stupid does this sound? Give me some feedback. Is it just my brain being fucked up, or what is happening here? And everybody actually were like, this sounds like it should be like this. And it was a little bit of a process for me to like go through. I talked with Lars, I talked with Atte about the lineup thing and how we're gonna do the future thing, and everybody was really supportive about the whole thing. And eventually Paavo was the last guy who I asked, like I've been talking with a lot of people, what do you think about if we don't do like a song for you if you come to Before the Dawn and we make this first single? And
so what was his reaction?
He was also clearly in the
so
plan.
It was an instant yes.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So I think like at least so far I had the only one who had some crisis or like a doubt or like well it is a big decision. The band was supposed to be buried.
Yeah.
And now we're coming back with a new lineup. We have a agency working with the festivals for next summer. There's a new album already in the making. A lot of things changed in a very short amount of time.
But the biggest change is that you are behind the drum kit.
I am behind the drum kit. Yeah, I don't do the vocals anymore, which is, again, to me, really positive. I get to be in the front with Wolfheart, like, plenty enough. I never was into the attention anyway. I was more into, like, just getting to play the music. And yeah, I'm really happy about the idea being on the background.
So you won't be doing, like, any singing live? It will be Paavo handling also the old stuff?
Paavo is the vocalist now, yes.
Okay, that's very interesting to hear.
He does better growling than me.
And that was the reason that you ended up...
Yeah, well, I already played with that idea back in the days when Before the Dawn was active. Like, it would be so cool just to play drums. I would just want to play drums. I played drums on 3 Before the Dawn albums. I'm the most albums... how can I say it? I'm a drummer who played the most amount of albums in Before the Dawn history of all the drummers who's been in Before the Dawn. So it's I'm really a fan of. I would really like to play a lot of the songs drums. That's from all the albums I played.
Is it also a thing that you don't want to be on the spotlight? That you rather be on the background? I really rather be.
I get the spotlight already enough from Wolfheart.
Yeah.
Like plenty. I could use less, to be honest. But it doesn't bother me that much. But the attention was never my thing. I never wanted to be only on the stage. Like, look at me. This is what I'm doing. Like, drumming is really nice. You get to be in the background. I really like to do the drumming this summer with Dawn of Solace gigs. The guys handle the front line and
you handle the back line.
I handle the back line, yes.
Okay.
So I do think it's also now that both bands are like active at the same time, and both bands are pushing on. It's really good that I stay in the background on Before the Dawn. Also, it doesn't identify that much on me. Again, even if I write music, it's still a band that is depending of all the members to be members that makes Before the Dawn. So it's better for both bands and for Before the Dawn also that I wouldn't be the face of the band.
So there is a new single coming out a week from now that we are doing the interview. So, and the file that you sent me was Paavo Master 1. So could you tell us a little bit about the single? Yeah,
the single is called Downhearted. And that was originally supposed to be for Paavo's solo something or what we do together, but him doing the vocals on that song nailed the decision that this is Before the Dawn. This is what Before the Dawn is now. This is what we call Before the Dawn 4.0, because we have 3 different lineups in the history, completely different. and this is like just another change.
Sort of like a new beginning.
It's a new beginning, yeah. And I don't know what else I can tell about the song. Ask me more precisely. This is too much for me to analyze because usually I have a plan and I kind of like I have a backstory and one song is connected to a bigger like a picture. Was it like touring or album? But this song just and then
stands on its own.
Yeah, and it just popped up. There was no plan. There was just a really small idea, and then equally small idea made it to be a big decision to be a Before the Dawn song, and then new vocalist. So it just happened.
Okay,
it just happened.
So how much do you have now, like new music ready?
I have the drum tracks recorded for the new album already, and we're gonna start with the guitars in 2 weeks.
So what kind of like plans do you have like overall with the album? Do you already have some kind of like tentative plans when you're gonna put that one out?
It's gonna be out in early June 2023.
Okay, so it's still quite a long time before you actually put it out like officially.
Yeah, well, first single probably comes somewhere in February, March already. And looking at how long the vinyl pressing takes nowadays, I think we are already in a tight schedule. If I get the master delivered to the labels in early December, then there is still like a good chance to get the vinyls out in time. So
the upcoming single is gonna be just a standalone.
It's gonna be a standalone. We're gonna like re-record it and have a little bit different arrangement for the album. But now I wanted to have a song and a single that like shows the new Before the Dawn. Yeah. I think it's important after such a long break to introduce the change and the plans for the fans, not just drop an album.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's
that's the plan at the moment.
Yeah, that's the plan. I would have been way too excited just to sit on the song. Knowing now what I know now about the plans and the future and decision that already spoken and been made, waiting for next March, completely impossible. Like something has to happen now because there's so much energy and excitement in the band also.
Yeah.
We
of
can't
course
just
you want to
bottle
share
up.
it.
Yeah, we can't bottle up that, and then we were like. Then we're going to continue with the album recording and yeah.
Hey, thanks a lot once again for taking the time and all the best for the future. Anything you want to say to the fans?
I'm not going to make any promises anymore in the future about burying bands or bringing them back because I seem to suck at it horribly.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you.